I'm Professor Lockwood, and I'm the advisor for the GES Minor here at the School of Global Environmental Sustainability. You're probably watching this because you're interested in enrolling in or declaring the GES Minor. We'll go through the steps of declaring a minor right at the end, but let's, before we do that, go over the GES Minor requirements. And before that, let's talk about minor requirements at CSU. First and foremost, minors are transcriptable elements. They will appear on your transcript at graduation, like your major will, your minor will as well. And they consist of at least 21 credits. Our minor, you are required to take at least 21 credits to complete the minor. And so let's go through what credits they have to be. One other thing about those credits, all minors at CSU have to have at least 12 upper division credits, upper division being courses 300 or higher. So that's something to keep in mind when you're picking out your classes. So let's do a screen share here, and we're going to get the check sheet up here and take a look at what courses we have to choose from in that check sheet. So let me go ahead and share that screen with you. And so let's go ahead and go through this really quickly. So this, by the way, this check sheet can be found at sustainability.colostate.edu under education. If you go to the GES Minor link, you can download this PDF and keep it with you and bring it to when you get advising, or have it online if you're getting advising by online means. So the GES Minor has two required courses, GES 101 and GES 470. They're both offered spring and fall and online as well. You can take these whichever semester best fits into your schedule. 101 we encourage you to take at the beginning of the process of getting your minor, and 470 should be taken in your last year, either the fall or the spring semester of your last year. Those are the required courses. That's 2 of the 7 classes that you're going to need to take to complete the minor. The other 5 come from 4 categories. So there's a groups A, B, C, and D, 1 course from each of those, and then an upper division elective course, which is any upper division course that's got a different course code than the others. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get down to it. So group A is called our society and social processes. This is anthropology, history, philosophy, political science, sociology make up kind of most of these courses, but there's a variety of others in here as well. A couple I'll just point out, remember that upper division credit that you have to have. I like to point out courses that kind of fit into that with a lower set of prerequisites. Now, if you're in a particular major and you have prerequisites for upper division courses, then that's an easy way to get extra courses, and it probably will count for both your major and your minor. But sometimes that doesn't always happen. So I want to point out philosophy courses, 320 and 345. Both of these don't have prerequisites, but they're at the 300 level. Most of the other ones on this list that are at the upper division level in Group A have prerequisites. And so we just have to kind of watch out for those as we're going through and taking a look at that. Make sure you're going to have the prerequisites you need. Group B is your biological and physical processes. This is really kind of the science category when we talk about the idea of sustainability. There is, again, both upper and lower division courses available to you. The upper division courses tend to have a fairly heavy set of prerequisites for many of them because of their science nature. The departments tend to have a sequence of courses that you need to take before you get there. So in here, if you're not getting those prerequisites kind of as part of your major, I recommend, in this case, going with a lower division course, and we have several to choose from. We have GR 100, geology, a couple of natural resource courses as well down here. So those will count. Some of those actually also count towards your AUCC requirements as well, so you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone as it is that way. So Group C is economy and profitability. In here, it's a little bit smaller list. AREC 202 is one choice, or AREC or Econ 240 is another lower division choice. AREC 202 is acceptable for the minor, but please note, Econ 202 is not. We only accept AREC 202 in the GES minor. AREC 202, it's a prerequisite for a lot of other economics classes. If you don't really think you're going to be taking a lot of other economics classes and you're not necessarily that interested in that field, totally fine. Then AREC or Econ 240 is a really good choice as well. Now, other students will often also take Management 360. And now Management 360 comes out of the business school. It's social and sustainability venturing. If you're in a major where you think you're going to be going into kind of creating a business, creating a organization, working within an organization that is, marketing and developing ideas in a bigger community, this is potentially a good class to take. And so you only have to be junior standing or higher when you take this. So that's another option that you have. And then finally, the last group before we get to the upper division elective is group D, which is what we call our skills group. Now, in this category here, everything's upper division that you see in here. And so with everything being upper division, then that's going to count towards your 12 credits of upper division. Now, again, there's a lot of prerequisite courses in here. 2 courses don't have prerequisites, NR 320 and Soil and Crop Science is 440. So either one of those you could take and not have to have a prerequisite for. The final class you need is your upper division elective course. This is a course that is anyone in the whole list that I've showed you that's 300 or above, and you're not using that same subject code for one of the categories A, B, C, or D. So for example, let me give you an example. Suppose you took NR 130 as your group B course. Then you took NR 320 and wanted to use it as your upper division elective. Well, you can't because you're already using that NR subject code for group B. So if, for example, you took GR 100 in group B, then NR 320 could be used as an upper division elective. Now, if you were to do that, then that would mean that if you're going to use NR 320 as upper division elective, as an example, then you'd have to choose another course in here for your group D skills course, because you have to have one in this category as well. There's another set of courses that will satisfy the upper division elective course, and that is any GES subject coded course that's 300 and above that isn't 101 or 470, obviously. So for example, in the spring, we have sea level rise, we have law and sustainability course, we have a course on sustainability and health, and we have a course on electronic waste, e-waste, plus other ones, experimental courses or other interesting courses will come up that you can take with those as well. And any one of those would satisfy your upper division elective requirements as well. So that's what you need to do to get to a GES minor. Those are the 7 courses you need to take. If you're interested in and have other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. dale.lockwood@coloradostate.edu is my email address. It's on the check sheet. It's also on the SoGES webpage. You can reach out and ask me more questions. Now, the one last thing that I want to mention is how you complete the declaration of a minor. What you're going to do is send me an email, and you're going to say that you'd like to declare the GES minor. I'm going to fill out a PDF form, a major change form is what we call it, so you can change your majors or minors. And I'm going to then email it back to you, and it has an electronic signature block on it. And then you're going to take that over to the registrar's office. I'll give you the email address, and the registrar will then add the minor to your declared set of programs. And after about a week or so, it should show up on your DARS report. You'll run a DARS report and you'll see the minor in there, and you can take a look at that and keep track of what your classes are going on there with as you're going forward. So if you're looking to declare the minor, shoot me that email and we'll get the process started really quickly. And I look forward to talking to you more about the minor when you if you have any questions or you want to do more discussions of it. Thanks for tuning in.